There we going well. Got my second wind.
So, by the way, we're broadcasting live, Kathy, so everything you say will be recorded around the world.
I know. Got
it. Smooth cat. Welcome, everyone. We will be starting the training in approximately 4 minutes' time. Please have a pen and paper ready. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We will be starting the training in approximately 3 minutes. Please have a pen and paper ready. Thank you. If you want to join in live, you can click the Join Live Now link below the YouTube broadcast. Good evening, everyone. We will be starting the webinar in approximately 2 minutes. Please have a pen and paper ready. If you would like to join the call live, please click the Join Live link below the broadcast. We will be starting the call in approximately 1 minute. If you have anyone that you want to get on the call, please send them the link and have a pen and paper ready. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast. We have Sapphire Director Amelia Bodenstein with us, as well as Kathy, who's soon to be a Sapphire. I believe she's a Pearl or close to Sapphire. So we have two amazing leaders on the call with us that are also going to be able to answer any questions that any of you have. Kathy and Amelia, please can you just mute your mics while I do the three-way call training, and then at the end we'll open up the call to anyone who wants to come on and ask any questions. I'll also let both of you add in whatever advice you have to give. with regards to edifying your upline, how important it is, and the importance of using a three-way call. So without further ado, as you guys would all know, professionals in network marketing act and work in a different way to amateurs. And if you've read the book GoPro, which is the book we've been working on and basing our training off, you'll know that most people are rookies or amateurs when they get into this industry. In other words, they actually don't have any experience in network marketing. They don't know how to build a network marketing business. And those are the type of people that really need to understand the importance of using tools. And the pros use tools. So I love this quote by it was Robert Hollis. He told me, you know, if you want to become a multi-millionaire in this industry, say as little as possible to as many people as possible and put them in front of an effective presentation or the money man. So an effective presentation could be a live event. An effective presentation could be a three-way call. An effective presentation could be a webinar, okay, a live webinar. An effective presentation could be a video explaining the product. Whatever the case may be, you want to use tools as much as you can in this business. The moment you're starting to explain, you're on the back foot. But when you can use a tool to explain for you, you're on the front foot. Similarly, if somebody edifies you, don't you agree that you would think more of that person than if they spoke highly of themselves? There's a big, big difference when there's a third party that comes in and edifies the individual who is being spoken about in that position. So edifying somebody is one of the most powerful ways to help you build your business. And the three-way call, I would say, is the most effective tool you could use to get off to a fast start with Jeunesse. So when I was introduced into Jeunesse, my upline was Peter Sage, and Peter Sage's upline is Neil Ferry. So Neil Ferry has been helping us build a phenomenal business all over the world. He's based in Kuala Lumpur in Asia. If you haven't added him on Skype, please do. His Skype name is Neil Ferry. Fantastic, fantastic trainer. Very, very successful network marketer. He's built multiple businesses in this industry up to, you know, very high ranks. And all I did is I edified Neil. So I told people, you know, he's very successful. He's built multiple businesses. He's, you know, lived in South Africa. He understands the culture. If I were to get you on a call with Neil, would that interest you? And most people say yes. If you edify them, you know, well enough, they're going to jump on that call with that person, and you now are in a much, much stronger position to build your business. And I managed to get in 10, 15, 16 sapphires in a period of less than a month, all using three-way calls. So whoever your upline is, you need to find out if they're in this business full-time, and if they're a sapphire or higher, make sure you're using them for meetings, for three-way calls. If they're not active in the business, find out who their upline is. Just keep going up the line until you find an upline that's very, very you know, active in the business that can help you. So let's get into a bit of training with the three-way call. The purpose of a three-way call is basically to effectively sort and identify key people to partner with, teach new distributors or promoters to what to say and how to say it. Okay, so if you on calls listening to your upline, helping people get enrolled in the business, you're going to learn gradually how to do the same thing. Okay, assist new promoters to get their prospect to a challenge or to an event. So if you don't know what's going on with regards to upcoming events and webinars, etc., then just make sure you ask your upline and get them to inform you on that. And remember, your upline partner generally has some success in this business already, and that's why you should partner with them. Law of conformity. If you spend time with people that are already successful in this business, you're bound to follow the same direction. So what is your responsibility as a distributor when trying to set up a call or a three-way call? The most important thing is to edify the upline or the expert. So for example, when I was building Jeunesse in the beginning stages, when I was still just a distributor and I was nowhere close to Sapphire, I spoke about Neil being a sapphire director, very successful, built $1 million businesses in this industry before, and I edified him so that when I introduced the Neil to the enroller or the prospect, they were very impressed. They were humbled and they were excited to hear what he had to say. So it's very, very important that you edify the person before you introduce whoever it is you have interested in your opportunity to them. And when you get on that call, let the expert know before that call the background of who it is they're speaking to. Let them know their profession, let them know what they do, a little bit about them, how interested they are. It'll just put your upline or the person who's doing the three-way call in a much better position to help you to actually get that person past the finish line. Okay? Let your expert know the prospect's hot buttons. In other words, if they're a person driven by money, that's an important thing to know. But if they're somebody that's not driven by money and they're really driven on helping people, you don't want your upline talking about how much money you can make in this business. Does that make sense? So make sure you let the upline know the hot buttons of whoever it is they're going to be speaking to. And always ask what they like best from the overview video. The reason we say ask what they like best is because that will stimulate a positive response. So as soon as that person gets on the call, say to them, I've sent, hi Neil, I've got John on the line. John's watched the overview video, and then ask John what he liked best about it, and John will start speaking positively. Whereas if you just say, what did you think? It opens up that for a positive or a negative response. And in terms of setting up the call, always set it up first with the upline before you schedule the call. You don't want to schedule a call and then find out your upline's not available. I'm available for my team every day from 12 to 3 during the day at Premium PRT in 4 ways, and 7 to 9 in the evening I've made myself available as well for 3-way calls. So that's 5 hours a day I'm opening myself up for my team to pretty much bring me people or to set up Skype calls with me. And that's the next thing. Okay, we've spoken about edifying the experts. Before I talk about scheduling the 3-way call, really the most important thing when doing your 3-way calls is making sure, as I said, that it's already scheduled with the person who's going to be doing the 3-way call. Know the time slot. So in my case, between 12 and 3, 7 and 9. That way you can already schedule the call with me and not have a conflict. And as long as that's set up, then you're good to go. Scheduling the 3-way call is what you want to do immediately after you've got somebody that I'd say is a 7 out of 10 or higher. So when you speak to people, if you've checked the follow-up script, we ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place yourself? If they're 7 or more, then I recommend putting them immediately on a 3-way call. And the 3-way calls, I'm telling you, are the fastest way to build your business and the fastest way for you to learn how to, learn exactly how to do the same thing. In other words, if you're on a 3-way call, you want to be listening to that upline of yours on the 3-way call, helping you to close that deal. This isn't a business of, hi John, I've had people that have literally just sent me 10 phone numbers and said, hey, can you just call them for me? And I really laughed, and I texted them back, and I don't want to tell you what I said, but anyway, all I'm saying is you don't, this is a business, and obviously, it is your job and your responsibility to take care of your own network, but in the beginning, it is your upline's responsibility to help educate you, and the best way to do that is with a 3-way call. Tools can be used for a 3-way call. Skype is the most popular tool. Downloaded it. Download Skype. You can buy Skype credit. You can call anyone in the world. You can write this down. I use this app. I find the call quality even better because I call people in Sweden, Australia, Amsterdam regularly, and that is VoIP, V-O-I-P. Your phone, very similar rates to Skype, very cheap call rates. You can phone overseas for about R1 a minute, even less. And it's fantastic quality. So I find VoIP is very good for international calls, and Skype is fantastic to do video calling because everyone knows what Skype is. Landline and your mobile, you'll actually have to check with your service provider if they allow 3-way calls. But generally, I wouldn't recommend that for any international calling, only for local calling. I know some people in our team here in South Africa on Vodacom can merge the call, and they can actually do a three-way call from their cell phone. With Telkom, I can't do that. Maybe I have to get it activated, but I know some companies or service providers do. So just check with your service provider. But when you're looking at this business, your only expense is really your phone bill and your internet connection, and you can't be, slacking or cheap on either of those if you want to be a professional network marketer. You need to have an unlimited calling plan, in my opinion. You can get an unlimited calling plan now with Cell C, Vodacom, MTN, all for about R1,000 a month, plus minus. My contract's 1,100 Rand a month, and I have unlimited calling, data, and internet. So it's getting more and more competitive. And that's what I use, and I use Skype and VoIP. Sequence of events. I spoke about this basically. Set up the call with the upline. Once the availability is confirmed, then call the interested party and connect all three of them. Make a proper introduction of the upline on the call. Tell their story. So if it was me, you would tell them how I managed to hit Sapphire. If it was Amelia, you would tell Amelia's story of how Amelia hit Sapphire and how she earned a fantastic bonus last month, example. And when you've done that, then introduce the prospect and compliment them to your experts. The personality traits of people. This is when I was speaking about you got to know what people are driven by. So if they're money motivated, obviously you want to let your upline know that, so that when they're on the call, they speak about the compensation plan. If they are left brain analytical people, you want your upline to speak about the details and how the compensation plan works. If they a dolphin personality, then they're looking to have fun. What would you speak about then? The cruise that's coming up next year, the ability to travel in Jeunesse, the Ruby retreat, all these types of things. That would make them interested. The whale, motivated by helping others. That's generally elderly people. They're not merely driven by money. They're looking more to make a difference in people's lives. So those type of people, obviously you want to speak about how this business is a fantastic vehicle to actually help build other people. And you cannot become successful in Jeunesse unless you build other people too. So that's what you would focus on. Does that make sense? And always ask what motivates your prospect the most in their life and career right now. So the way I always get people into this business is I actually say to them, like, hey John, listen, how's that dream of yours coming along, that you always wanted to buy that car? How's that coming along? Because I think I found a way to help you get that car. So if you communicate in terms of people's dreams and visions, then you're speaking their language. So think about that. The expert's responsibilities. Just be confident, paint a big picture, and then make sure that you enroll that person right there that day after the three-way call. Don't wait. They're either in or they're out, for now at least. So make sure that people know that this is a business that is exploding globally. The sense of urgency around this needs to be very high. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're getting people, that they're getting the message. You don't want to be doing 5, 6, 7 follow-up calls. You want to just do 3 or 4, even less if possible, before you get them in the business. Don't get caught in the trap of running after people, because there's a lot of people out there that would love this product and this business opportunity. And if you come across from, this is something I'm sharing, it's an amazing opportunity, not I need you, then you will be very successful. So go after people, by all means follow up with them, but don't run after them, don't chase them. If somebody doesn't answer their phone, I don't phone them back 10 times that day, because that doesn't set a good message. I might phone them the next day, but I won't phone them 10 times that same day. The conversation, 5 to 10 minutes. So nothing longer than 5 to 10 minutes. During the course of the conversation, make the prospect feel comfortable. In other words, compliment them. Say, I've heard a lot about you, it's a pleasure to speak with you, etc., etc. Ask a few questions using the information you have provided to help make small talk. I understand you like sports, I understand you teach, etc., etc. That's why it's so important you tell your upline, whoever you're going to be doing the three-way call with, a little bit about the person that you're going to be introducing to them before the call. The expert will obviously tell their story of why they got involved in the business, figure out what is the motivating or driving force behind the prospect's interests. Obviously be humble, give credit away, reverse edification, relate to them, really highlight the opportunity. And what I want to add there is add a sense of urgency. In other words, we're growing very quickly globally, and we don't have a lot of time to run after people. We would love you to join this business. We're going to the top. Whether you're in or out, we're still going. That's the sort of posture you want to have. But paint the big picture and get them in the business. Enroll them right there after the three-way call. Don't wait until the evening or the next day. Phone them directly after that three-way call and get them in the business. And then obviously get off the phone after the call. I usually hang up before they can. I know some people might say that's rude, but they might hang up before me, or I'll hang up before them. So I'll choose to hang up before them, and it just sends that sense of urgency. Like, I'm very busy. I would love to chat longer, but I've got another 10, 15, 20 people that are waiting to jump on a three-way call with me. So that's a three-way call done. So really, what you need to do, guys, is you need to get Skype. You need to make sure that you are very much connected with an upline in your business on a daily basis, at least a daily basis, if not every 2 days, at least texting and communicating. And I would say if you're not putting one person a day on a three-way call with your upline, then you're not working hard enough in this business. I was putting 6 people on one Skype call at a time with Neil. So I did 6-way calls. Why do 3-way calls when you can do 6-way calls or 10-way calls? You could do a Google Hangout and you could have 25 people on a call with Neil Ferry or myself, and that way you're leveraging. Does that make sense? So you guys, by all means, schedule your own Google Hangouts, set up a Skype call or a conference call, use GoToWebinar. There's so many tools out there that you can organize to get 2, 3 people on a call at a time, never mind one at a time. So try to do 4-way calls, 5-way calls. Obviously you want a group of people that are all interested and similar type of characteristics. Sometimes you don't want to have too many people on a call, or that can be bad. So I generally say, 2 calls are good. If you get more than that, obviously better judgment and character, and try to figure out what, whether or not that would be a good combination. So other than that, I urge you guys to all start scheduling meetings with myself. If your upline's not available, I'll be at Preemie from 12 to 3 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday till the end of November for the teams, for you guys. I have people that are bringing me. Romana, somebody in our team, she brought 2 individuals to see me 2 days ago, and both of them joined the business. So, when you have somebody that has the influence and the knowledge of this product, use that person. Leverage on their ability to build your business. It's not every day you have somebody with that, that's offering you that. So, with that said, I would like to open up the line to Amelia first, and then to Kathy, and then Amelia, maybe you can just tell a story basically about how important 3 calls were with you. I know you did a couple with Self and with Neil when you started in the business, and it's really been instrumental in your success as well. Amelia, are you there? Amelia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, did you hear what I said?
No, sorry, I didn't. I had to quickly leave the room.
No problem. So as I was saying, can you just share how important 3-way calls were for you in building this business? I know you did some with Neil and with myself. So can you just let everyone know how important it is, and basically how often you would stay in touch with me as your upline when building to Sapphire?
Yes. When you start in the business, of course, you haven't got the confidence that you would have when you are further down the line. So, of course, it's actually better to get your new people or your prospects in touch with, and put them in touch with Neil or with Oliver. And it is very important to edify the person you put them in touch with, just like the training and just like Oliver now told us. So that is what I did with, especially my Australian lady. I've had her in contact with Neil, because Neil is, I think there's a shorter difference in time as well with Alma, which is in Australia. And then I think the very next important thing is to align yourself with your upline, especially if that upline is successful. And like Oliver said, if your direct upline is not really doing anything in a business, you look for the one that is doing the business. And I think we are very, very fortunate, Kathy, Jill, Willem, everybody, we're really fortunate to be part of a leadership like Oliver, like with Neil. I mean, me and Neil almost also speak like at least once a week. And we have the privilege to even talk to Paula Prichard. So it is very, very important, not just for even your prospect, for yourself as well, to align yourself with the successful people, because they are the ones that are making a success in the business. And when you feel down, or you've got a bad week, or you haven't recruited anybody for quite a while, then it's good to be in touch with people that are doing it, because that will help you, that will motivate you, it will really set you into a positive mind, and create a positive mindset to just go on. Just sometimes, you know, sometimes we feel not like phoning today, then do other stuff, but keep in contact with what you are doing and with your business, because the moment you lose focus, then it's when you feel like, this is not working, or this is not the thing for the future. But if you stay focused, if you stay in contact with the successful people, it will not happen. So I think that is it. Kathy, what can you say from your side?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. No, I agree with you, Amelia. I mean, we've all had ups and downs, and we all lose our momentum once in a while. And yeah, it's just very important to, when you do chat to your uplines, that, you know, they obviously understand where you're at, and they've been there themselves, so they're often able to give people a boost. I do have a question, though, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask this question, and I think maybe we can address it as well, is often, you know, we've been told that it takes people 4 to 6 times to actually look at the Jeunesse opportunity before they make a decision. But how do you do that without actually running after them?
Okay,
Do you understand?
I'll answer that. I'll answer that for you. Great question, Kathy. And if you don't mind, Amelia and Kathy, maybe Amelia, just post on the Team South Africa group, does anyone have any questions? And then we can start answering those as they come through on the group. And anyone who's listening to this call, if you're listening to this call, you can join live through the link below the stream. So below the stream, you'll see a link in the comment section. It'll say click here to join live. You're welcome to join us in the live room. Amelia, perhaps you can also just post that link in the Team South Africa group. Okay, so Kathy, great question. To answer that is, it's a very true statement. It takes an average of 4 to 6, it's called exposures, before you actually enroll somebody in your business. There's going to be times where you speak to people and after the first exposure, they join the business. It happens. Some people take action and they're entrepreneurial and they just make decisions. Other people are super left-brain analytical, want to know everything about this business down to the last detail before they make a decision. So what I do is I tell people, don't give up on somebody, but at the same time, don't run after them. So what I do is I say, the first exposure is generally when you call them and you send them an email with some information, okay? Then you obviously wait and you call them as soon as possible. I always say, don't leave more than 24 to 48 hours between an exposure. So you can write that down. So if somebody says, call me in a week's time, that's too long, and you need to let them know. Just say, listen, that's too long. This business is exploding. We don't have time. We're looking for people that are looking to take action. A week's too long. Please, can you look at it sooner? It's only going to take you 5 minutes to look at the videos. That's all it takes to look at the Instant Liages video. It's a 2-minute clip. It's not like it's going to take them 5 hours to do this. So let them know that it's only a few minutes of their time. It's very important. Please, can you look at it within the next 48 hours or the next 24 hours? And if you set that urgency, they will say, great, give me a call tomorrow, give me whatever the case may be. Then when you follow up with them, that's the second exposure. And what I do is I just generally go through the follow-up script and I'll ask them what did they like best about what they saw. That stimulates the positive response, and then I go and I ask them straight away on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being ready to join this opportunity. And if they tell me they're a 5, I'll say, great, how can I get you to a 6? If they tell me they're a 6, I'll say, great, how can I get you to a 7? And you will know what is the tool or the next exposure you need to lead them to. And generally, the next best exposure after the first exposure is a live event or a webinar, or a 3-way call with your upline. As long as they're a 7 out of 10 or more, get them on a 3-way call with your upline. If they're not a 7 out of 10 or more, the second, third exposure needs to be a live webinar, a live event, your website for the product info. Whatever the case may be, whatever answers or information they need, send that to them, but make sure that there's another follow-up call scheduled within 48 hours. So you never want to leave them more than 48 hours, otherwise they're going to end up forgetting completely about what it was they even spoke to you about the previous time. So I hope that answers the question. And after 5 or 6 calls, if they still not a 7 out of 10, then obviously they're not interested, and you need to just say to them, listen, this is the 6th call we're having. With all due respect, I'm very busy. I don't have time to call you 10, 20 times. So what is it you need to know for us to make a decision, and so we can move forward appropriately? And that's what I do. And generally, I find that between 3 and 5 exposures, 6 exposures at the most, people are in this business. So persistence is important, and the fortune is in the follow-up, as many people say. That's where the money is. The money is in the follow-up. But don't get caught running after the same person 24/7. Say to yourself, after five follow-up calls, I'm going to let them know, are they in or are they out? I need a yes or no answer. So I hope that answers your guys' questions.
Thanks, Oliver.
Cool. Amelia, did any questions come through on the group?
Not as yet. I don't see anything, Oliver.
Okay, I'm going to just see if anyone's going to join our live stream quickly, and then otherwise, do you have any questions or that you think people might want answered, Amelia? Jill's on the line. I see Jill. Does Jill have any questions?
Yes, Jill is.
Hi, Jill's here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes,
Jill.
we can, Jill.
You got on this time.
So, technology works when you push through and learn, eh?
Exactly. Persistence is key.
I'm very pleased to have heard what I've heard tonight. It was clarifying a number of... I don't have a specific in the value. Talking to your prospects helps to build confidence into the whole dynamic.
Definitely does. Well, thank you for that, Jill. And do you have any specific questions you would like us to answer?
No, I don't at the moment.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if that's the case, then and there's no more calls on the Team South Africa group, I'll just close off by saying 3-way calls are vital. If you're not doing them, then you need to start doing 3-way calls, start connecting with your upline, work closely with somebody who's a sapphire in this business. Whether that's me, whether that's Amelia, Kathy, I know Impor, I know Liesel. There's a lot of us that are almost hitting sapphire in this business, so there's a lot of people doing great things. All you need to do is connect with them and ask them how they're doing it, and you will achieve the same results. So having said that, we'll post this recording on the Team South Africa group tonight for anyone who wants to watch this recording. We'll post it, I'll email it out. Please make sure, Jill, Kathy, Amelia, you send this out to your guys, to your team. And I highly encourage them to listen to it, because I think tonight was a pretty good call. So having said that, good evening, and thank you for being on the call tonight. And we'll see all of you, obviously, at the Jeunesse University next weekend on Saturday. If you haven't got your teams to buy tickets to that, make sure they get tickets to that. And then the one on Cape Town is on the 5th, which is next week, Thursday. Those are the 2 next events we need to build for. So if your team hasn't got tickets, make sure they get tickets. And thanks for being on the call again tonight, everyone.
Yes, and I just want to remind Jill and Kathy and tell them, and they can tell their people in their teams, Oliver, that me and you will be in Cape Town from the 3rd of November, which is Tuesday, until Friday morning very early. So we're going to be there at the event on Thursday night. So if you have any people in Cape Town, you're really welcome to send them, and we will also be there to assist and help them, okay?
Yeah, exactly. So me and Amelia will be in Cape Town. Just post that on the group again, Amelia, and let's shoot out an email
Yes,
to everyone to letting them know. Fantastic. Have a great evening, everyone, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.